go ahead and get started, and to open things off, we're going to go with girls varsity basketball and the legend, Coach Barry C. Come on up there, Coach.
All right, I'd like for the team to come on up and stand, please. Sophie, Elizabeth, get up here with us. Miss Lindy, come join us. I'd like to pass out a bunch of thank yous real quick. Didn't do none in JV, so I try to cover them all. Coach Pat and the boys for getting the floor all done and prepared and ready for every game and situation. You know, we always had a good working ethic as far as getting things prepared for those things. The clock, Michelle Schillings, Brian Taylor. Announcers, Chris and Arden Bird. Film, Miss Hazel Buford. Robert Stafford always brought us some drinks and Powerade for my girls. Ms. Hicks, Mr. Brock, and Ms. Schillings for the pictures. They always take them, just amazing. Coach Field, just let me get in here and coach. Thank you. The staff, the teachers, always being supportive. The parents, grandparents, you know, transportation, little things. Going through cheerleaders, the fans, the dancers, sponsors, Miss Laura, Miss Debbie, student section. Oh my gosh. Where's my boy, Maverick? And there they are. Most amazing thing I've sit through. I've been at Bowling Green a lot of years. Go back to the days. We've had big students, fans, but they get me fired up. It was amazing this year. Okay, and I'll get to these others as we come. How do you describe this season? You know, I brought my towel, so I started packing this towel, and Sophie brought it to me. You know, I said, let me just put this in my pocket, maybe this will keep me from slinging things or saying things, and it did. So I had my towel with me for a while there. But this group of ladies, just heart, guts, compete. You know, you lose a couple games through the season to a couple of teams that you shouldn't, everybody starts doubting. You know, and we adjust things and we talk about things as coaches. And all of a sudden they just get it, here we go again. And piece things together. You know, there was second district through the thing, which I wanted our shot at Brookhaven, but we never got, and I told you we'd have got them if we'd have got them that third game. South State, second, 0.8, or was it 0.8? Am I right? 0.3, or no, 0.2. 0.2 didn't matter. Sophie had us a shirt, 0.2 didn't matter. You know, I got my shirt in my house, and it kind of worked out for our benefit. State runner-up, you know, and amidst all that, everybody probably knows I had some surgery scheduled that I was supposed to be getting done, so I had to cancel my surgery because these girls kept winning, which is a phenomenal thing. And then you make it to the, you know, state runner-up and semifinals. You lose to the eventual overall runner-up. And, you know, on my way home after that game, I got a text from Coach McAnally from Jackson Prep. And he went on to say a lot of things about this group of ladies. And his last words were, we were very fortunate to be moving forward, and they were. Because this group, it was crazy. No quit. You know, some of those words that I've had around for a long time, no quit. Just a great group. I had some great rides home with a lot of players and interesting things that they taught me. So, but just an enjoyable year with a group of ladies. You know, at times at practices, things might be complicated here and there, but I tell you what, don't cross one of them because the other 14 were coming at you. And it's been a great run with them. So let me start off with a couple of awards or little gifts I got here. You know, I brought Miss Lindy up here. We've always preached team, team, team. And it was a true team thing with us with Lindy. Lindy's been with me for a long time, you know. Let me back up and just tell a little story about me and Lindy. Many years ago, we'd won 6 games going into a South State, you know. All of a sudden we got onto a little winning streak. For some reason I just reached over, we beat a number 1 seed or something, advanced. So that gave us our 7th win. So I kissed Lindy on the cheek and was walking to the locker room. Well, then we beat another number 1 seed. I said, heck, that worked. I kissed Lindy on the cheek again the next day. And then we beat another number 1 seed. I kissed Lindy on the cheek again. I was like, you know, I'm gonna just keep kissing Lindy on the cheek. But just to say, you know, I'm aiming you better. She's like, I ain't worried about Barry Sue. But Lindy's been with us a long time. She keeps us straight on the sidelines. Always there. If she wasn't going to be there, she would let you know 2 weeks in advance, I promise you. But Lindy's been there to take care of the books for us as a team. It's been an amazing run. And I just got Miss Lindy. I wanted her to come up here because she's been a big part of our team. I had 2 ladies that took care of anything and everything for us this year. Clean the locker room, sweep the floor, just whatever. Get us a shirt made. Go get me a Coke at the store. Go drop somebody off here. You know, they had some hard little duties at times, but they always just kept rolling for us. Get my films transferred, and was always there for us. And Sophie and Elizabeth were just 2 awesome young ladies for us to have part of our team. And I know that Coach Edwards is looking forward to having them back next year because you can't do without them, brother. They made it happen. And is Elizabeth here? No? Well, Sophie, come on up. I got you a little something.
You're right here.
Yeah, I know. That's what I did. Now moving on to our players. I'll start off with 10th graders, which we have a big class. Every kid in our team helped us somehow in practice and everything, all the way through. You know, whether it's getting there and just beating and banging, and everybody was always involved. So first of all, I'm gonna start off Miss Kate Bitten. Sid Barrett. This is one of them that, you know, on those rides, ride home, she'd ride home with me sometimes. Boy, I get some good knowledge and information from the school, what's going on. That would be Hallie Sassy Serenade. You know, we've had a couple of players come in this time, you know, before basketball season started in the past years, but thank goodness this one walked through our doors. Competitor, grit, work hard, you know, just, you could see on her face at times you know, that she did not want to disappoint, and none of these girls did, but always working extra, putting in extra time. And it was a blessing for us to have her a part of us. Thank God she's a Buccaneer for the next couple of years, because they're going to be strong. And with that, Miss Chloe Bertrand became first team all-district, made the South State team and the state team this year. You know, this one here, young lady, I continue to say the story of when she first come here, she'd run from me. Didn't want to come to my practices, and all of a sudden, now I think she'd run through a brick wall if I asked her. Worked hard, you know, had to separate her mom and her a couple times. But I love her, you know, and bless his soul. Mr. James, you know, he passed during this season. Big fan of mine, big fan of basketball, but we getting ready for prep. You know, and I'm just trying to keep it low key. And this young lady, you know, after the service and stuff, she walks in our gym and gets ready for that game. You know, and my words to her were, Mr. James wants you here, and he wants you playing, and she did. So in that, Miss Claire Waskell was first team all-district this year. This lady's probably going to get a lot of awards through the years. You know, played every spot, every position for us. Guard to post, guard to best point. You know, run point guard. Played a four, played a post for us on offense. Had to learn so many different positions. Going to be a heck of a player, she keeps getting pushed. And pushed hard. The sky's the limit for her. She's just a special kid. I've enjoyed coaching. You know, we butted heads at times. I know, and she'd give me those little remarks, smirks, and different things. But come game time, it was on. So with that, Miss Bailey Duvall was first team all-district, South State team, the state team, made the overall team, and the 5A all MAIS team. Well, you heard me talk about that one a while ago, that I got some of the rides and stuff home, the information. Well, here's her compadre, Miss Grace Severis. Gave me a lot of information on those rides. You're gonna hear me tell a few stories, and here's one of them. So we in a clutch game, and Chloe had just joined our team. And I'm gonna tell you, this is a true team. And I done called both daddies and told them about this situation, but I want everybody else to know how strong this team was. So I looked at this young lady, which was Peyton. Just hold up a minute, Peyton. And I said, Peyton, I need you to get in here. We're supposed to run spread motion 4 corners. And this young lady looked at me at a crucial time of a game. She said, you know, Coach, Chloe's better at that than me. You need to put her in. I knew we were doing the right things once that kid had told me that. And I called Bo, and I called Chloe's dad, and I wanted them to know immediately the next day. That was an amazing thing for me. And you just don't have that. So, that's the moments that I won't forget of coaching, right there. In regards to that, Peyton was honorable mention all district this year. This young lady come to us a few years ago and she's had to basically just play a backup role in different things. And she's helped us out in practice. You know, I've been tough on her and I get in there and make her push, but she'd come crunch time, she would help us in practice and pushing these ladies around and battle and make them mad, slap them down a little bit, and that would be Miss Bailey Crane. Good, okay. Everybody heard the song Ice Ice Baby? Well, we got somebody that can sing that song, let me tell you. I don't know if everybody got to see the overall final game for us, but we're down 3, and I get a timeout, and I draw up this crazy play that one kid's got to pass it from the one side all the way across to the other side of the court to the corner that we ain't never practiced to play. And I bring the kid off the bench to go catch the ball and shoot the ball. And I know everybody's thinking, this dude is nuts. She ain't even been to the game lately and he's gonna bring her in there. So I get this kid and I say, you gonna throw it to me? And she said, throw it all the way over there to the corner. I said, yep, that's where you gotta throw it. And I said, you get there too and catch it, because they think we're coming this way to get the ball. And of course, Coach Taft said, when you get this play, I said 15 seconds ago when they were walking over here to the sideline, we're gonna try. Well, sure enough, she catches the ball and they foul. She goes to the free throw line, one in. I turned around and started telling Nash and Tab, this is what we gotta do. They're like, what? A couple more free throws. I'm like, she's got it. 2 in, 3 in. I know the announcers on the thing, everybody was telling me, it was like, what the devil? There's no way she's gonna make all 3. Well, sure enough, unconscious, ice, ice, baby, ice in her veins. So, just saying that, when I went up there the next week, you know, with the All-Stars, everybody was saying, who was that girl that shot? She come in and shot the ball twice. She slings one off one leg and makes it, and then she comes in and makes 3 free throws in a row. In that, we got Miss Hope Crow, and I'm sure glad that me and her kissed and made up, and she is honorable mention all district. Here's another one of those little stories. Kind of going through the season, we're kind of in a rut, we're figuring things out. We think we got to make an adjustment in our lineup. So we talk about it to coaches, you know, we're going to address it come next practice. No, I decided to go to this young lady's house, sit down and talk with her. She kind of looks at me and says, it might be the best thing for us. You know, and it was fine with it and worked out. And like I said, it comes back to one of those team situations, all about the team. And it worked out, we adjusted and we moved her to coming off the bench for us. You know, I remember telling her about the Simpson game that they said she didn't exist. She existed, didn't you? You brought her. I've enjoyed my years with her. It's been a great run. In regards to that, we got Miss Bridget Duvall, second team all district. You know, you have these kids that you coach since 3rd grade or whatever it might be. Don't miss a practice. If they do, to let you know a great amount of time ahead of time. Always there. Do the little extras for you. You know, gonna get her time if we up or down. Referees loved her, wanted me to get her in all the time. But, you know, that's the ones that stuck it out. Stuck it out knowing that the playing time probably wasn't gonna be there unless you was way up or down. But stuck it out and stuck with us as a team. And it's been a joy. It's been a joy hanging around with Lori and knowing that her husband goes and gets her a sweet tea every day before he comes home from work. And taking care of our snacks. But it's been a great thing, and with that, I got Miss Emily Cothran as our Captain Award. Well, you heard me telling the story about the girl that I said, you get the ball right here and you throw it across to the corner. And that's when you looked at me, throw it all the way over there, yep. You know, or I'll tell her to go do something, this, and tell the other girls to do something on the court, kind of direction. You know, it's put the challenge out there to her to certain things. Guard the post player, guard the guard. I mean, if you look, we weren't very big as it was. And just threw a lot of responsibilities at her. Tell KK what we're going to be doing here. Don't let her get out of control. You know, and teach all the new ones that plays. You know, guide and direct them. And she took a lot of roles with us. And it's been a joy. We've enjoyed her. She's helped us out. And we're going to go over with that. We got Miss Anna Claire Crow, which is second team all district. And let me say on some of these awards, this year our conference was tough. Our classification was tough. So I wished I could have went back and redid some redistrict stuff. And I think my girls would have been bumped up tremendously. So I just want everybody to understand it was something that was voted on prior to and all that. Of course, you know, we got to see the light and pass them all up as it was, with them sitting on the sidelines and they didn't even get the glory that we did. Now, I've always said, Lord, if I could make it through. I was kind of looking forward this night, but I wasn't. Still using that towel, so. If I can make it through this one, the Lord, good Lord's gonna tell me to get out. You know, competitor, hard-headed, that's the Burris side, not the Seal side. Wants to win everything, wants to win and compete every game. You know, she thought her and Claire both thought they were 6'7", you know, thinking they would just take on anybody and just get knocked out. I do look forward to the days of seeing her and her sister together, which is a dream come true that I never thought I would. But KK was chosen as a first team all-district player, South State team, overall team, 5A all-MIS team, and made the all-star team. Ask you 1 second, then I'll finish up.
I promise I'll be short. I know y'all are hangry. Y'all remind me in March next year and I'll start a GoFundMe account and we'll feed the parents. But anyway, no, I just want to say thank you to just a few people. I just want to say thank you to our student section. I know Coach Barry mentioned it, but I cannot stress how awesome you guys were this year. I mean, the games weren't just games. It was literally an event to come to these basketball games. I mean, kids from all over the parish wanted to come to our basketball games. I mean, they literally got mad if their own school had a basketball game and they couldn't be here because our fans, you guys made it so much fun, and Coach Barry just made it so much fun because of his dedication. And to Miss Lori and the cheerleaders, I don't know where she is, oh there she is, amazing. I mean, these girls, I mean, y'all don't know what all they have to go through, but they were at every game. Our away games, 3 hours away, continued on through to South State, overall, they were there the whole time. And I just want to thank you guys for all of that support, for supporting us. And then to Coach Barry, this is an amazing ride to be able to coach with him. And in his last year to coach, because he gave it literally everything he had. I mean, everything he had. And that was a blessing for me to be able to be under someone like that and to witness that. I mean, I played in high school and played in college, and I can honestly say my college coaches did not even put the time in that this man put into these girls. And that just meant so much to me. I have a daughter playing, and for her to be able to just be a part of that was just so amazing. And I'm just indebted forever to him for that. And I see Coach Jaron is here to take over, and he and I are going to do our darndest. You know, we got huge shoes to fill here with Coach Barry leaving, but he has set an example and a work ethic that is, I mean, no one can touch. And I just want to say thank you to him, and thank you to all of you guys for your support. It's been an amazing run this year. Thank you.
I do want to get to Coach Ash and Tab. You know, I would turn and look at them and got to a point this year that I would turn in, what y'all think? Can we get this done like this, or a play or something? And I would look for the positive feedback from them to acknowledge. So, you know, it was a true team effort. I mean, because I had to have the confidence. I'd pass anything off the crazy diamond and one to the triangle and two, back to the diamond and one that we run in last game. What y'all think? Yeah. And it was all, we all bought in 100%. So it was a dedicated thing from all the coaching staff, the way we, you know, worked and with these girls. Amy, stand up. She's had a rough life. I'm acknowledging it. You know, there's nights, y'all heard me talk about when we go off, we do. She'd get a hotel room and I'd get a hotel room because everybody knows I was going to be studying film. At home, you know, through the playoffs, there was about 3 nights in a row that I probably got about 2 hours sleep. And she would deal with it, you know, because I was up watching film or this, that, and the other. Thank you. You know, I was brought here a long time ago with Coach Murray, and went through several different principals, like I said, with Coach Field, finishing up. And one thing my dad always said was, try to always leave it better than when you got there, and hopefully we have. You know, with the facilities and different things we got, Coach Edwards, and I know Coach Miller is going to be coming in here, and, you know, take care of the stuff. That's all we want to see happen, man. I want to see everything taken care of, and I want to see y'all succeed. I mean, you've had those meetings, and I'm there for these girls, and you as well. I know you're going to be successful, and that wife is going to sit there, and you'll have to be thanking her in 20 years, just like I am with mine, for things. You know, I've had officials come to me as this season was going along, and, you know, said y'all did it the right way. And when officials come tell you did it the right way, then that makes me feel good of what we've done here. And I think age has helped me compared to the years of early days, costing a few dollars, paying some expenses from some bills. Gonna miss this place. I'll be here watching on the sidelines. It's gonna be a different situation for me. But I'll say again, Bowling Green was good for me. You know, since I come back and me and Coach Pat started working together, you know, we made the state tournament ever since for about 11 or 12 years, brother. State tournament, Final Eight, 11 or 12 years in a row. We played for the state championship 8 out of 11 years. It's been an awesome thing. I got some great memories. I got some great videos I'll be pulling out. And these fans and this school has just been awesome. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I loved every minute of it. Thank you, Bowling Green. Appreciate it.
Amy, bless your heart. Bless your heart. Barry, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything you've done. And, you know, if we just let that sink in a little bit, what, 11 straight years. That's pretty impressive. 11 straight years. 8 out of 11 playing for a state championship. You know, and I know I said this on that court that night. I had one that played 4 straight state championships for you, and that was a pretty special time of life right there. A lot of great things happened there. So we are so blessed to have had you. Been a long time. I think we got here about the same time, didn't we? So it's been a long time. We're going to turn it over now to Coach Pat King and Varsity men's basketball.
I love going behind Coach Berry because he always gets the people that I forget to thank. And when speaking with that, that's just one way to start it. And I love you, brother. Coach Berry actually coached me my junior and senior year. But he doesn't look that old. My favorite memory was my senior year. I had a kind of a big head when it got to basketball. I told him, Coach, I'm gonna average 27 points my senior year. I didn't, but I thought it was a pretty good goal. I'd go there and beg for the key on Sundays while he fed his dog Popeyes. I don't know what Amy ate, but I know Ralph, he got Popeyes chicken. Well, I remember one time sitting right over there on that bench. I had a bad first quarter. And, you know, I just had a short memory, and I didn't have problems shooting the basketball at all. I was probably about 07, 08, somewhere starting. He's pulled me out, and he's let me go back in the second quarter, and he said, you know, we might need to just work that ball around. You know, Pat, you might not just need to shoot it when you touch it. And I said, Coach, how do you expect me to get hot if I stop shooting? But Coach Berry knows how to talk and handle kids. And that's one thing I'll never forget, that I got to play for him. And he's worked with me, and he's helped me and mentored me in coaching of how to have relationships to treat kids differently. He knew how to handle me. He knows how to handle kids differently. And that was something that was so special and unique as he got back into it here to help me out. And brother, I wouldn't have done it without you. Truly, you are my brother, and I love you. And I do second all those people that he thanked, our scorekeepers, clock keepers, Miss Jan for making sure we have concession stand workers. Miss Valerie works here, but she's really my personal secretary. I thank her because I probably bug her more than anybody. I know Miss Dana Graham, Miss Allison with the cafeteria or with the concession stand. We thank you guys so much for those things. We couldn't have done it without you. Again, parents, I look to my right and I got more brothers. Coach Kevin and Coach Mark. Coach Kevin's been with me for 3 years, and another thing Coach Barry's always taught me is make sure you got other eyes on the bench. You know, be humble. Let people help you. And when I left and went to Oak Forest, you know, you don't have those ties there when you move, and you miss that. And then when I got back here, I knew I had to find somebody I could trust, and Kevin's been a blessing. And I don't pay him nothing. And I don't mind saying that because I want you to know the work that man puts in and just to be a part of this program, just to be a part of these young people's lives. He's been there for me. He's a young coach. I remember when I was that dumb. We always concentrate on the negative, and Kevin, that's just what young coaches are. So we want perfection. But slowly I've seen a progression in him and how he's learning. And his love for the game and love for students. But my favorite part of talking to Kevin is he always talks about he's making a difference in young men's lives. And that's what it's about. I thank Coach Mark for coming in this year and helping in any way possible. From 7th grade, I wanted the 7th grade. He stole it from me because that's a fun little group to watch. That was the 7th grade team we had. But he would keep on and help us with JV and Varsity. Guys, I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you, wives, for me, Miss Molly, all you guys. Y'all are my brothers, and I love you. My family, I can't do this without them. My 2 daughters, who I love dearly. Blessings from the Lord. And then my rock, my wife. Outside of Christ, maybe you're the best thing I've ever had. I couldn't do this without you. I thank you for your support. Guys, if y'all would come on up, spread out right here. As we talk about this year's basketball team, and you look at stats and you look at records, it might not be what we're used to around here. We have built programs here. But with this being it for me, I'll tell this group of guys I wouldn't have went out any other way. I don't want another group. These young men taught me more this year than I probably learned in my other 23 years of coaching. We had our up and down times, and there was times where they probably didn't feel like I was bringing a lot of energy, and Lord willing, I didn't have a lot of energy. We just didn't know what it was. But these guys taught me humility. These guys taught me that it isn't always about you. And guys, that's something that I'll never take for granted. These guys taught me patience. That we get there, and we get there, and we get there. And I tried to think, what am I going to say about this year's basketball team? And about 3 or 4 days ago, it just hit me, about 2 a.m., of the life lessons that these young men have taught me, that have never ceased, that will never go away. A humility, a drive to always get better, even though if they didn't want to. Everything was thrown against us. We'd have some good times and some bad times. But they never quit. They kept coming to practice. We put something new in, they want to hear about it. We'll try to do it. And I love them for it. I watched them grow. And if you got to see us play in late January and early February, we wasn't the same team we were in November and December. And that's all the credit to them. Because there's a lot of times in November and December when things are crashing, we changing strategies, we're trying to find and scratch any way we can to score. And they never questioned, they never complained, they right back at practice the next day. Defensively, these guys played hard, which is character, another reason I love them. Always there to defend. But later on, we got healthy, got to move some people around and got to playing. And I'll never forget one day being in class and Elizabeth Wilkinson said, Coach Pat, I stayed for the whole game. Those boys played hard. And we say that laughingly, but that goes to all these guys. And I'll never, ever forget this basketball team. Ever. I said 2 years ago, when we lost 58-56, that was one of my favorite teams to ever coach because I saw a bunch of kids come together. Saw a lot of kids sacrifice. But I think I spoke too soon. Because if I'm going out, I'm going out with you guys. I'm going out with humility. That's not always about me. And here's my favorite part. You made me love the game again. You made me love the game again. It was fun finding ways to score. It was fun working a triangle and two inverted and make it look like a 2-3 zone and make people scratch their heads. You did that for me. And that's something I'll never be able to express enough to how much I love you and thank you guys. With that being said, we'll get kind of started. We did have a 9th grader come up this year and played with us. He didn't have much of a choice. Kevin really suffered more than anybody because speaking of the JV team, you know, there's a school in A-Meet that's not got a bad program in junior high. And you know what? Everybody said our junior high was going to get whipped in the conference tournament championship, but the score was 40-36, by the way. We gave them everything they wanted. The cupboard's not bare here. 8th, 9th, 10th graders, 11th graders, or 11th grader. Maybe we'll get a few out with you, Hunter. Cupboard's not going to be bare. But I'm excited about this young man. I watched him dunk in high school, no, junior high game, so against Columbia. They should have got the keys ready. Them poor kids ready to go home after that. But my favorite part of it was the coach's reaction. We didn't know what to do. I'm laughing and screaming. I wanted to get on the court. Zeke's running up, high-stepping. I ain't ever seen him show emotion. But it was great. But I tell you what, Zeke Burford brought it in high school too. I've been fortunate to coach some 8th and 9th graders to play, but mostly on the women's side. And they've been players. It's not so easy as a man. Come in as a 13, 14-year-old kid and compete against 17, 18, 19-year-old kids. It's not that easy. But this man had some valuable minutes, and he played hard for us. He worked himself in the starting lineup and never looked back. Because of that, as a freshman, Zeke Burford was awarded 2nd team All-District. We have a few sophomores. My favorite sophomore, he doesn't think I am. He don't think he is, but he is my favorite sophomore. I've grown to love this young man. This kid's always in the gym shooting. He keeps me entertained. I don't know whether to believe him or Weston Bush. I don't know. Dre kind of tells me the truth, I think. I don't know, but I really enjoyed to get to know him, and this sophomore, Nate King. Dre's big enough that he plays that other sport that Coach Field likes so much. And he got hurt late in the season in football. Just bad timing. But he'd hang out with the coaches. Sometimes I have to remind Kevin he's at work, not hanging out with Dre. But Dre would ride the bike some, and he'd always be there. And you know, you just don't know what to do with this young man because you got to think of him. Yeah, we need him. Like, look at him. Like, we need him. But also he's a sophomore, you know, so we didn't know what to do and how to play him with minutes. But let me tell you what, when he was fully healthy, we were a different team. Because you can just move so many people around and he does things that you can't do. It's hard to teach people to take charges, and he does it. Takes charges, rebounds the basketball. Takes a stupid shot or rebounds it, spin moves, and puts it back up in Brookhaven. He's just got things you don't coach and a love for the game. But I'm excited for this young man in the future. Sky's the limit from this young man, and I love coaching every minute of it. That's sophomore Dre Killingsworth. I can second that with this other sophomore. This kid doesn't know how good he can be. Probably he doesn't think I like him very well because I'm pretty hard on him. Trying to teach him some things here and there, the best I can. But I mean, just a smooth basketball player. He's got things that you can't coach. He's got opportunities to score. Brookhaven this year, he just blew my mind, the way that kid just went and played. But then also I wanted to strangle him because I'm like, where's that at? But he's going to figure that out, with no doubt. He's going to figure that out. Great shot, great handles, sees the floor well. Like I said, just things that I'll never be able to take credit for. Hopefully we get him that weight room, get him a little bit stronger, but got a lot of years ahead of him. Looking forward to it, sophomore Western Bush. Our only junior was Hunter, and I keep telling Hunter if he keeps losing weight, we're going to have to find another place to play him. But Hunter come in this year and one thing I know about Hunter is Hunter's going to leave it on the floor. Hunter's got a big heart. No, he doesn't do everything right, neither do I. Yeah, Hunter makes mistakes. He misses a shot here and there. But he's not out there for himself. That's why he's going to be successful in team sports, because it's not about him. That's some of that humility that I got to learn this year from young men. It's not about him. If he's down, it's not because he's down. He feels like he's letting the team down. But excited for this young man. Excited to see him be a leader as a senior. To continue that humility, but also have a work ethic to push everybody else. Junior Hunter Thomas. With our seniors, I think we got everybody here engaged. And Guffey? Guys, I want you to understand how much you mean to me. I'll go to war with you guys any day of the week. I'll get y'all's foxhole anytime. With no doubt. With no doubt. The first senior we'll mention this evening is a young man that's very close to me. I've actually known him really his whole life. I grew up being a member of Clifton Baptist Church. And I remember when Brother Tony and Miss Terrell came to Clifton, Miss Terrell was on bed rest with that heathen. He's been causing trouble since he got to the gym. So I've gotten to know him my whole life. And when we speak about humility, and we speak about work ethic, and we speak about the love of the game, that entitles Matthew. It's never about him. Never. Never has been. One of my favorite people to be around. Not only on the basketball floor, anytime. I love the fact every morning when I'm in my office, he comes in. Hey, Coach Pat. Hey, Coach Pat. Some days he'll just come in and just talk to me. I'm like, Matthew, don't you have class? Yeah. I guess not. The seniors say he can do what he wants to. He's the one who does what he wants to. But I loved every second of it, Matthew Hicks. High school sports is something greater than any other sport. College, been there. Haven't coached, had the opportunities. Professional, not even close. But ain't nothing like high school sports. And you are the people that make it that way. Senior Matthew Hicks. This next one is a senior that, let's see if I can get Trey engaged that way. Probably didn't have the year he would like to have, but we learned those life lessons. But he never stopped, and it was his time to get in. It was his time to get in. We had to coach him hard. We had to teach him hard. But always there. Never complained. He made me love the game again. He's a young man that loves me, and I love him. I'm never going to forget the times I've watched him play and develop. And he doesn't know this because he probably doesn't think he had the greatest basketball career the 3 years I've been here. But I've seen him grow as a man, as a person. And little by little, I like the way he's going. And he's going to be successful. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm happy for. And at the end of the day, he makes me a better person. That's senior Connor Didon. Coming on down the list, my boy Peyton. Peyton's one of the few people I've ever coached for 23 years that literally, when he stepped on this floor, maybe not in practice. I would say Peyton was a practice player. But when the game time happened, he was. It was whatever I got in my tank, you're going to get. And it built and built. And Coach Mark's the first one that pulled him aside and kind of got me on board and said, hey, this is what we need to start doing with this kid. This is where we put him. This is where we succeeded. Just put him on somebody, the other team's best player, and lock him up. And he feeds off that. And every time where Peyton couldn't breathe, I'm good, coach. I can guard him. Peyton got better and better offensively of learning what we're doing and how we were supposed to be doing it. And he never quit. He never gave up. He never lost hope. He never just come and whined about practice. Why are we still doing this? We were better at the end because of these kids' attitudes, and Peyton's one of the reasons why. Everything he had on game night, he let us have. He's the only one I'd get a little intimidated telling him he's coming out. I ain't gonna lie. He didn't like coming out. He couldn't even talk to us. He couldn't breathe. He didn't want to come out. Peyton, I'll never forget that, young man, and the difference you've made in our team's life and my life. Peyton Summerall was honorable mention all conference. My boy Will Hollywood. Enjoyed coaching Will. Will's one of the guys that kind of like last year that made my team so special, or our team. Just got new guys come in, and still they got to learn. It's not easy just rolling in here. We don't roll a ball out. Coach Barry will tell you that. We don't roll a ball out. There's defenses, there's offensive schemes. This is a basketball program at Bowling Green. Sideline plays, inbounds plays, how to defend sideline plays. We will blow your mind if you ever come sit down with me and Coach Barry. We don't just roll a ball out. And every practice is detailed, and every practice is planned, and it's for us to get better. And when you come from a place where they're not used to doing that, it's hard. And it's hard to get into that adjustment. But it didn't stop Will from getting here every day and getting better and getting better and driving and driving and driving to get better. Will had his ups and downs, but he's learning a system that not many people know. He was learning how to go on the fly. We went in November and December, not everything was great. There was a lot thrown at this young man, and he never gave up on his teammates. And he never stopped looking at me and the coaching staff, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. And he had some brilliant moments. Senior night here, him hitting those big three-pointers, well, I loved every second of it because the kid is deserving of it. A kid that walks through these fires and walks through these fires and walks through these trials, and he does it the right way. It was exciting to see him have that success. I'm proud of it. And because of that, Will Hollywood was also honorable mention all conference. Now, you knew I was going to make you stand up there longer. I can honestly say that Nathan Jenkins is one of my people that I'm going to always treasure. There's probably times he wanted to slap me, and I can promise you there's times I wanted to slap him. And we went through those rounds that sophomore year, and probably had a junior year that people just don't really realize. Kevin will tell you, we had some players that could play his junior year, but we're not even that team without Nathan. Had a wonderful junior year. Wonderful junior year, buying in, working hard, and then the senior year comes and we got to play him everywhere. And it's hard to get in a routine. We had to play him everywhere, had to play him down low, we had to move him. But he was a mismatch nightmare. And like I said, when Dre come back healthy, it was just open the floor, where we could do so many things with Nathan, Zeke, Hunter, and Dre. You can play those four, you can play three of those four, such a beautiful thing. But Nathan has been somebody that's always been supportive of me. He knew he could talk to me. He would come to my office sometimes and say, hey, Coach Pat, I did this, but I don't want you to think it was because of this. And it meant he cared. And that means something as a coach you don't get, like Coach Barry talks about. Those are the things that you remember. It's not all the wins and losses. Men and women, I'm going to tell you right now, if it's always about state championships and college scholarships, you fail. That's not what it's about in high school sports. It's not state championships and it's not college scholarships. If that's your number one outcome, you're going to fail. It's about making young men and young women. It's about letting them have fun. It's about growing them into young men and young women ready to be contributors to a society. And with all that going on, Nathan's been a part of all of them. My first year here, lost first round state tournament. Second year here, lost state championship. It was a heartbreak. This year, made it to the first round of South State, got beat by number 1 seed, but we threw everything at them and they don't want to play us again. He's been on every level. And it was always, yes, sir, coach. You need me to go here? Yes, sir. I know you might not go out with the record that you wanted to, but you had an outstanding high school career, young man. And that's why this program is going to be fine. Face seniors, year after year, the way y'all lead this program. Nathan Jenkins was first team all conference. Again, Gage Richardson and Trey Guffey are not here. Guys, you're more than welcome to sit down. I'm not going to be long here. They're going to get a picture while I talk. That's good. These young men. I'm not going to be up here long, but I do want to talk a little bit about a young man named C.T. Stud in the 1800s. He was a big-time cricket player. We don't think much about cricket players, and I get it. I don't blame us. Go ahead, guys. You're not going to interrupt me. But he was probably the best cricket player around at that time, and he gave it all up to become a missionary, which is pretty interesting to me. And I know we don't think much about cricket, but let's just think about the Heisman Trophy winner just saying, you know what, about the NFL, you can hold off. I'm going to go to China and become a missionary. That's a pretty big sacrifice. But one of the things he always talked about was something that he wrote, and it's something that I read on Teachers Day, our first teachers meeting this summer. And it's something I'll leave you with tonight. This is what he writes. Only one life, yes, only one. Soon will its fleeting hours be done. Then, in that day, my Lord to meet and stand before his judgment seat. Only one life, 'twill soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. Now, we're not all C.T. Studs. We're not all called to go to China or wherever to be missionaries. No, we're not. But we're all called to be husbands and fathers, wives, and moms, parents, grandparents. God has placed us in persons and in people's lives. He's placed us in jobs, and we can make an impact in people's lives. And all these things that we chase around here, there's nothing wrong with them. Go get them. I love goal setting. I love ethics. I love intelligence. I love sports. All these things. But please make sure you have the right priority in them. Because on that judgment day, and if you read in Hebrews, the author tells you, everybody will stand. Only what's done for Christ will last. Only what's done for Christ will last. Do you know Jesus Christ? Does your children know Jesus Christ? Don't ever forget that. Because when that's your first priority, Jesus, the perfecter of our faith, says this: seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then all these things will be given unto you. Men and women, those are the important things. And as though this is an athletic banquet, if we teach our children to keep their eyes on the ball more than we teach them to keep their eyes on Christ, then we are letting our young people down. We are letting our young people down. Priorities. Priorities. One life to live, which will soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. I hope Bowling Green Athletics succeeds for Christ. We play for His glory. We play because He's given us the health to do it. We coach because He's placed us in people's lives to love on them and to coach. Moms and daddies, God has given you beautiful children to their 18, 19, 20. Man, love on them. Love on them. All this other stuff is wonderful. But let's do these things for God's glory. Be basketball players in track and field, softball and football and baseball, academics, NASA, engineers, Marines, wherever we go in life. Be those people. But do so for God's glory. Because He gave us everything He had. He was obedient all the way to death on the cross for sinners such as you and me. Amen? I love this school. I love this athletic program. And it's in good hands. Know that we're here for you, brother, if you need us. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm not going to be too long. I just have something. In the Bible, in the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 30 through 31, it says, "Thou shalt love thy Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment, and the second is this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these." As a student here in the 9th grade at Bowling Green, we've always been taught to look out for one another, especially our own Bowling Green family. In Miss Lori's economics class, she and Mr. Ron Saberson came up with a project for us to help one of our own during a difficult time. Each student brought money every week that we collected at the beginning of class. Mr. Rod agreed to match the amount of what the students brought to double our total. Senior Beta also added to our fund, and we would now like to present this donation to our very own Coach Pat King. Coach Pat, would you please come forward? Coach Pat, God love you. We're here for you. We're praying for you daily and for your family. God bless you.
But before I say anything, that's it's hard to come behind, but very understandable. Coach Barry, Coach Pat, you two have no idea how big of a role model you two are for me. And Coach Pat, I played for you. I know the man you are and what you did for me and what you meant to me in my life. And I want to thank you and tell you I love you personally. And you two men is what brought me into coaching. As being little, I remember coming to the games and watching these two men coach and telling me, character. And I'm not going to be long, but that's a true example of coaches. Because you don't just coach X's and O's. You coach life lessons. And you care for us. So you ladies and you men that have those two men as your coaches, that's something to be proud of for the rest of your life. Because they mean more than you ever know. And thank y'all for what you meant to me in my life. I'm going to start with track, and like I said, I'm going to move this pretty quickly. If my varsity girls please come stand forward. If you was with track, 9 through 12, come stand up, please. We didn't have a big number this year that come out in track, but it was a progress. And I will say, as I said earlier in JV, we competed very well. And we placed in top 3 in events that most of us participated in. And could say, I'm more proud of these girls than they ever know, and I'm just excited about the future track. And hoping next year we'll have more come out, and that's our goal, is to do so. Couldn't done it without Coach Jamie. She laughs at me whenever I say Coach Jamie, because everybody calls me Miss Jamie, but I call her Coach Jamie. And so thank y'all, parents. Ms. Terrell Hicks, thank you for the pictures and doing what you do. And we're still not finished. We've had some, so we actually go to South State tomorrow. And then we'll go to South State Saturday. We've had some qualified, and we'll get to that. But I'm going to call you, and like I said, if I don't call you, some of you not here, I still want to recognize the ones who participated. The first one is Chloe Bertrand. Chloe, she finished first in district in the 200-meter run, in the 400-meter run, and she came third in the 200-meter run. She qualified for South State, which we'll be going to Saturday. Tell you what, she can run. She can get it. And when you go to those track meets and the coaches come up to you like, man, where'd she come from? I said, I don't know, is what I'm telling them. I said, but I'm glad she came because she can get it. And so glad to have her out. Addison Goins, Rebecca Raymond, Peyton Thompson. Peyton has given us great effort. She has come out and has worked in the field doing the shot put and mainly the discus. And I tell you what, she worked hard, and I believe every year's gonna get better for you. You just keep on doing what you're doing. Sophie Nobles. Sophie throws a shot put and discus for us. Once again, she's one of those that she keeps on working. She's gonna get better and better each time, and she's given us great effort. We couldn't thank her more for that. And that's all our girls. So this time, and I take that back. I do want to recognize our JV 4x1 relay team, if you would, if they are not here. But if I want to recognize them, we took them to the district varsity meet, and that is Sinclair Baccoon, Joey DuPont, Jayla Manning, and Juliana Wilkinson. And they placed top 3 in varsity district meet, and they will also be going to South State with us Saturday, running the varsity South State with us. And also Joey Claire DuPont, she placed 2nd in the high jump in our varsity district meet. And she will also go to South State with us tomorrow to compete in South State. I want to give them girls a round of applause and thank y'all for your effort. This time I'd like to have our varsity boys track come up, please stand. Once again, we didn't have a lot of guys. We didn't have a big varsity group. That's something we were working on, and each year we expect to get bigger and grow more. But once again, the guys that came out and gave us great effort, and we have placed. For what we had, we have placed and have done very well. And I'm proud of them. And like I said, I'm gonna recognize the one that's even not here, and for the ones that are here, I'd like to talk about them. First one's up is Josiah Miller. You want to call him Big Joe. Josiah's part of the 4x1 meter relay team that we finished third in district, so we will be going to South State Saturday to run for South State. Morgan Verrett is our next one. He's not here. He's also part of the 4x1 meter relay team that will be competing in South State with us Saturday. Kyron Coward. Kyron is a part of 4x1 meter relay team that qualified for South State, and he also finished fourth in the 100 meter dash, which qualified him for South State as well. He'll be competing in for Saturday. Luke Watson. Damian Sellers. Devion Bickle. Whit Rivenbark. Aiden Hodges. Aiden finished second in district this past week, which qualified to make it to South State. He will be going along with Joey Claire-DuPont and also Zeke to compete in South State field events tomorrow with us. Next one is Chandler Butts. For us. He's another one that just keeps working on it every year. He'll just keep getting better. Proud of him. Zeke Burford. Certificate earlier. He's one of the ones, again, he's a ninth grader. And, you know, Coach Cookhouse earlier talked about it. Look, we don't have a lot of stuff to work high jump. We don't have a lot of stuff to work long jump. And he come up within no time and also went to the district meet with us for varsity, and he qualified for third in the high jump, and then he also got fourth place in the long jump in our district. And we have a tough district, and so I'm very proud of us. He'll be going with us tomorrow as well to compete in South State. And the last one is Matthew Hicks. I wanted to say Matthew for last because, you know, he's a big senior, and he's the guy that you go out there, if you ever in the car line of school and you're going to pick your kids up and you're leaving, you're going to see one man that's out there just jumping hurdles and giving everything he's got every day. And that's Matthew Hicks. And, you know, there was times, a lot of times, that I wasn't able to be out there with him, you know, because you know, I was in the weight room and I let him know. But I never had to worry about that with Matthew because he's going to give you 100% effort in everything he does. Coach Pat hit it earlier about it. He's a great young man, a great kid, and you're going to be very successful in life because you got Christ first, man. And you're a hard worker. And proud of you, proud I got to have this year with you guys. I know it's not over, but I'm excited about track in upcoming years. And just thank you, parents, again, everybody who put in any effort and work into this, and it's been very fun. Thank you.
If the golf team will come on up here, boys and girls. You know, I've sat and I've listened to what I would classify real coaches tonight. I'm not one of them. I'm just a guy who loves the sport and loves to see kids participate. So that's what I try to do. But I've sat here and I've listened to Barry, I listened to Coach Pat, and in several of the things they said, it played into the role of the first person I'm going to recognize. Coach Pat, I think you made the comment that if you're in this for scholarships and that, you're in it for the wrong reason. First young lady I'm going to recognize tonight happens to be my daughter. She
She has received 33 scholarship offers and has accepted 0 because she does not want to play golf. She has a plan for her life, and I'm cool with that. That's how it's supposed to be. But some of them universities is Baylor University, University of Georgia, San Diego State. It's real university she received. I am proud of her for that, but I'm more proud that she has the foresight to know what she wants to do beyond high school. So for that, I'm thankful. With that being said, she also surprised me this year just a little bit. Golf is a little different than some of the sports. We have to qualify. We take the best 5 or 6 to every tournament. We qualify every week. The first qualification, Jeremy Bryant was 1 stroke behind Madison. Madison got home. I ain't going. I want Jeremy to go. He loves golf. I just like to play. And I thought that was very, very, very good, just as you talked about, Coach Pat. So the Spirit of Golf Award this year is presented to Madison. She is one of only 2 active members from the first team when we started golf back at BGS. Jeremy Bryant and Madison, both are 4 years. She is the first senior to finish 4 complete years. She has excelled in golf this year on the girls' side. Is it 5 tournaments you were at? I think it was. She was 5 for 5 in first place this year. Madison, you received the Spirit of Golf Award. Go to our JV player, Mr. Rhett Schilling. Rhett has come a long way this year. We have 5, come on son, keep walking. We have five returners and 1 departure, and Rhett has moved himself into a position to take that empty spot. So, I'd be amiss if I didn't mention the fact that this golf season wouldn't have happened without Keith. I have been out of town for the last 1.5 years or so working on jobs. Mr. Keith Eston stepped in to make sure the practices kept going. Everybody knew what a hoop was. Everybody knew one was 40 yards, one was 60 yards, and one was 90 yards. So without Mr. Keith, this probably wouldn't have happened this year. I'm very thankful. With that being said, I did happen to make a few practices. I walked out on the tee and was walking the driving range, and there was a young lady over there swinging. I said, good Lord, who is that? So that's the prettiest swing I've seen since I've been at this school. It was Chloe Bertram. She only played in 1 tournament with us this year. I look forward to next year her playing more. She has a great future in golf if she wants one, but she's got a great future in life, it looks like to me. Chloe Bertram. Reagan Fuller is not here. Our next lady golfer is Elena Neely. And I am glad to have you and look forward to learning how to play with you next year. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this. We've been doing golf at BGS since 2019 again. That's when I offered to kind of help make sure it happened. Since 2019, we've been your 3A, your 4A, and now your 5A district champions every year. So congratulations. The team you're looking at before you today will be leaving in the morning. They have advanced through South State, they have qualified for state, and they will be competing against the 7 other schools that have been invited to state Winston. So congratulations on your state. It's the first time that's happened as a team. As I said, they're a young group. Our first golf award is to Brody Estes. Followed by Brody is You're Not Standing Enough to the Right, Jude Rawls. So the same thing that happened with me walking up and noticing Chloe for the first time swinging a golf club, Keith calls me and says, Weston Bush finally come out, he's done with basketball and he wants to go to this tournament. So I told him, come on. First tournament, Weston shoots the lowest score in the tournament. Kid ain't got no idea how good he can be. He really don't. Great kid, have thoroughly enjoyed getting to know him, and you have a bright future in whatever you choose, young man. Weston Bush. The next golfer, last year, I noticed a change. I think I mentioned it at the banquet last year, but it was raining so hard you couldn't hear anything in here. But Eli made tremendous strides last year and has stayed on track this year and has become a very consistent golfer that you can count on his score when it's time to turn the scores in. So Eli Schilling. The next young man has told me so many stories. I'm like Coach Pat on one of his. I don't know what to believe or what not to believe. But I do know this. He loves golf and he loves turkey calls. And don't argue with him about neither one because he's never wrong. Mr. Jeremy Bryant. The last young man, first year I got to coach him. Sad to say that because it's his last year, but it was such a privilege to coach Will this year. Every year since I've been doing this, I've given out an award. Those of you who are not familiar with golf, Payne Stewart was one of the class acts of golf that died in a plane crash, way too young in life. Thoroughly loved the game, loved the character of the game, and wanted to cherish the game for the way it was designed to be played. And he was a great, great person. The Payne Stewart Award is given to a player whose values align with character, charity, and sportsmanship that Stewart showed. This includes respect for the traditions of the game, commitment to uphold the game's heritage of charitable support of others, and professional presentation of himself and the sport throughout his dress and conduct. This year's 2022 Payne Stewart Award is presented to Will Hollywood. I have one last thing I'd like to do. You know, as a parent, I heard what you said, Coach Pat. As a parent, you hear things at home that teachers and coaches don't hear. So, everybody knows my daughter, knows she loves to talk. But I learned two things over the last few years. Miss Jamie, Coach Pat, y'all made an impact on her life. Coach Pat, you have no idea how much she looks up to. I tried to come up with a way to say thank you that would be meaningful. So as I said, no one here understands what I've done. I went to Hancock Bank, and I've opened the Pat King Memorial Scholarship Fund and deposited $5,000. I want your family to pick the recipient every year, and I will keep it funded. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, y'all are all in front of the thing. Come on now.
All right, my name's Coach Matt. I was the coach of your baseball team this season. I've looked around and I see people kind of moving around like I know how brutal those bleachers are. These gentlemen that went first, they deserved every minute that they had up there. And the difference that they've made, I'm not going to take up the time that they have, but we can't give them credit enough for what they've done for this school. And the impact that they've had in so many people's lives. And like I said, I promise you, I won't be that long. I'll run through mine quicker, and like I said, we'll get out of here. But at the same time, once again, I don't think we can thank them enough. Barry and Pat, thank y'all so much for all that y'all have done for this school and for these young men and women. All right, starting for baseball, I'd like to start off with some thank yous. I mean, we had a lot of people that helped out a lot this year. Starting with, I don't see him here today, but Jeff, people don't understand the amount of work that Jeff does behind the scenes, the amount of work that he put in for us. We're very fortunate to have him. Mr. Yarbrough, they spent a lot of time, Todd Boyd, Chris Galloway, Mike Wascom. Our concessions and stuff was a lot better this year. Miss Emily stepped in, and her and Mike, in organizing a lot of that. And parents stepped forward, done things I've been coaching 14 years I've never seen done. Okay, I mean, y'all stepped pre-game meals for baseball. I think Emily come to me about it, I'm like, okay. But you parents, the amount of money and time that y'all put in these guys, we are very grateful for it. And I can't thank you parents enough. For our administration and Coach Duncans, it's no secret. I can't beat around the bush. This has been a rough baseball season as far as what we were expecting. As far as the outcome, we have a lot of talent on that team. Okay, we fell short in a lot of ways, and nobody takes more. I take full responsibility for that. And I can promise you this: you have two coaches here that are very adamant about the game, and we are going to work our butts off to continue to improve that. Things will be different moving forward. And like I said, as far as coaches, I'd like to thank Coach Watts. A lot of us don't realize what privilege we have to have him here, and I hate giving him compliments, I'm gonna be honest. But honestly, I gotta say, I mean, we stole a head coach from another school, and having him on board. Our record doesn't show it, but like I said, the amount of stuff that he did at that field. I mean, if you come to last year or saw what this place looked like when I got here, to what it is now, this man, the amount of work that he put on it, like I said, it was tremendous. If I could, I want to get my guys to come forward and stand. Our JV Varsity team, 9th grade up. They can come forward. We have a lot of guys that's not here today. And so, like I said, I'm going to put these to the side. That way, like I said, we can make this as fast as possible. But I know that a lot of you parents have sit through those hard bleachers through this to also hear about your child. We want to make sure that we acknowledge them and thank them for it. Like I told you earlier, there's some young talent here and there's some older talent here. going into this season, you know, we saw a lot of things that we had high hopes of. We've had some injury-ridden guys that we've gotten hurt. They're learning a new system. Here at Bowling Green is no secret. Baseball coaches come off. And like I said, going through new systems and learning new things, it is different. And it takes a while to adjust. And while, no, it should have been better than what it was, I can tell you this. It takes time to improve these things, and it will improve, and we will get to the program that we want it to be. I'm going to start out with our freshmen, this bright group that we have here. And we're going to start out with a outfielder and has a bright future, and that is Mr. Wyatt Phillips. Next one is another freshman. Having the injuries that we had, them to come in and pitch a lot forward or get some quality innings, and he's going to improve. He's a hard-headed choker, but I can tell you he's a good kid, and I enjoyed having him. And that's shortstop, third baseman, pitcher Gabe Hansen. Next one is another young freshman that's got high hopes. His glove is tremendous. He's a hard worker there every single day. Another key part moving forward, and that's our second baseman, Holden Contreras. This next freshman's got a high ceiling. He's hard-headed as well. I got a lot of hard-headed ones, y'all will see that. But just got to continue to push this one. He batted as a ninth grader and was a very quality hitter all season long. Got a high future ahead, but he's going to keep working with him and pushing, and that's Bubby Bryant. All right, moving on to sophomore. This one I've had the privilege of bringing with me from Oak Forest. Sorry, that did not mean not Oak Forest. Nothing to do with it. It comes to me from Mount Herman. And like I said, quality kid, great family, great kid overall. Steadily working, and that's our third baseman, first baseman, Austin Boyd. Next one's a sophomore that come from us from Pine. Bright future, caught a lot for us. Defensively, it's really come a long way. I'm not done. But anyway, special kid that I've grown to love a whole lot, and bright things ahead from him, and that is sophomore Caden Slogan. Next is another one that means a lot to me, coming with me also from Mount Herman. Had a great year this year. Just got to continue to work and get better. He pitched for us and played shortstop, and that was number 10, Grayson Payne. One of the heart and souls of the team, always picking everybody up. Improved a ton, and we'll talk more about him a little later. But this one right here, special kid, love him, Maverick the Motor McKelvin. Next one, new one come from us from Franklin. A lot of talent, cannon of an arm, can hit it a long ways, and played a lot of outfield for us. Left fielder, Mr. Josiah Miller. First time I had this one, basketball player as well. Like I said, come in a little bit late, but then has improved as the year on, even got to pitch a little bit, and that was first baseman Hunter Thomas. Next one that we got is one that Coach Watts talked we got over from Tylertown, and we're very privileged to have. He's a big asset to this program, can run. Everybody talks to him about how great he is in football, but I think he's going to be a special one in baseball as well. And that was our center fielder, Kyler Coward. Another special one to me to come with me. This kid pitched huge for us all season long. Very special kid. Loved him and the family for a long time. He in big games with you, he got to step up and sacrifice it, playing other positions to pitch. He won some of the big games for us this year, and that was pitcher catcher Brady Smith. Now we had 3 seniors. Like I said, one of them's not here tonight. Once again, these 2 right here, tremendous young men. tremendous young men, tremendous families. And I'm trying to be quick, but I have to say a couple special things about these two that are here tonight. We're going to start with Michael Yarbrough. He is a kid that works his butt off. I mean, his daddy is here with him all the time. And like I said, as far as love for the game, you're not going to find a kid that loves it more. This kid is, like I said, very giving. He's not himself. I mean, he's a very team player. When we've had to make changes and stuff, he's always supportive of it. And everybody can't help but like him because, like I said, he doesn't come better. He's working on trying to get a couple things and going on some visits, and maybe things will work out for him. And that is, he pitched a little for us and played first base, and that's Michael Yarbrough. And the last one I want to mention is, we just got done with his signing earlier. This kid signed with Southwest. Coming in, like I said earlier, I was all excited. I don't normally inherit talent like he has, hard thrower and everything else. Unfortunately, we had an injury. It's not his fault, it's not one's fault, but he has a ton of talent, bright future ahead. Like I said, comes from a great family and a great baseball background, and this is one we're going to miss as well, and that was a pitcher and DH, Matthew Bentley. All right, we do have a couple of awards and plaques that I just want to hand out real quick. We do a Most Improved Player of the Year. This one, to me, was a no-brainer. I mean, honestly, at the beginning of the year, if you told me Maverick McKelvin was going to ever step foot on the field, I'd say you were crazy. But this kid literally busted his butt. I mean, him and Jeff, they wasn't going to take it sitting on the bench. And like I said, this kid hit a bomb. I mean, like, bomb. In a JV ball game. And I didn't know the kid could do. And like I said, as far as the way that he continued to grow and even into the varsity lineup, and had some good at-bats, and that was Maverick McKelvin for Most Improved Player. All right, also we do a defensive MVP, offensive MVP, and an overall MVP. The defensive MVP, these just go straight off of numbers. Defensive MVP goes straight off of your fielding percentage, and this kid also was named second team all-district with an outstanding catcher for us, and I got a lot of high plans for him going forward. The defensive MVP, second team all-district catcher, Caden Slover. We had the offensive MVP, this kid, and I really shouldn't say it because he probably gets aggravated, but I think this kid had one hit last year. One hit, like 1 for 40 or something like that. That's all I heard was the kid couldn't hit. They picked on him all the time in consumer chemistry about the one hit thing. So I'm like, man, there's no way this kid's going to hit for me. Well, he hurts his arm, and then that's all he focuses on is hitting. Well, lo and behold, guess what? This year he led the team in batting average, batting .333, and was named the offensive MVP, Matthew Bentley. And the other one, like I said, we had another award that goes to the MVP of our team. We did a combined as far as your ERA for pitching. He led our team in pitching. He led our team in, he was second with batting average, and he also played shortstop for us, and he ate up some big innings. Like I said, had an outstanding year this year, and will be named our team MVP. Was also named first team all-district out of our insanely tough district, and that was our shortstop pitcher, Grayson Payne. And the last award of the night, and things will be over. We have what we call a Buccaneer Award. This Buccaneer Award is someone that displays heart, team. Everyone is a team player, has worked his butt off. And I talked a little bit about him earlier. He's the kind of kid that you want all your seniors to learn from. And like I said, to be a selfless player. One thing that this kid was a selfless player and a kid that you want to, a kid that he means a lot to me because of his heartless and selflessness about him. And as a senior, Michael Yarbrough. In closing, like I said, I'd like to thank your parents and these players for allowing me to coach them, Coach Watts as well. One thing I don't want to forget, especially after Coach Pat Berry, my wife isn't even here. I'm gonna make sure. Thank you, my wife. Make sure if she asks, I made Pat know because I can tell you, losing, she put up with a lot. She put up with a lot. The way that, like I said, I don't handle losing very well, and that's a special lady as well. So I'm not leaving her off this list at all. But as far as the baseball goes, it's very important. We got a lot of kids that love the game of baseball here. There's a lot of kids that do love the game, but we got to do more than just love it. It's got to start over the summer in the weight room. We've got to get stronger, we've got to get faster. There's a lot of things that we've got to improve on. And talking about it ain't going to get it done. And like I told you earlier, this season, in my mind, as far as wins and losses, was a disappointment. And I apologize for that, but it's going to improve. And we're going to make sure that that happens. But it's going to start with y'all's support over the summer. And we'll address that later. But like I said, thank y'all very much for all your time and everything else. Have a good night.
Special night. Once again, thanks to Coach Berry for those years of service. We've been doing this a long time. And you're leaving, and I'm back. Well, I don't know, what is this all about? And Coach Pat, we love you. We thank you for being here. We thank you for your years of service here, sir. It's been a joy to be a part of that, but you're not going anywhere because you got to come back and teach. So you just be ready, brother, because it's going to happen. And to you young people, you live in an era where respect, dignity, work ethic is something of a past. The box we carry around every day has taken over. Let me assure you one thing, there is a simple truth that has not changed and will never change. Great things come from hard work. Great things come from hard work, and if you're not willing to put forth that hard work, then don't expect great things. I challenge you. Be better. Be better at being a person. Have better character. Be a great student. Be great men and women. Because whether you believe it or not, and Madison probably can speak to this because she dealt with all the little ones this year. Thank you for that, by the way. They know who you are. Kindergartners know who you are. First graders know who you are. Ladies, they see, they know, they watch. Whether you want to be or not, you're a role model. I heard Charles Barkley say one time, you don't want to be a role model. Well, tough luck, big guy, because you are. Right? And you heard Coach Dean say tonight, his coaches. I remember mine. Every one of them. Very important. The most important thing you have here tonight are your parents. Because you never want to hear this, you never want to deal with this. Their sacrifice, and some of you heard it last night, so you're going to hear it again. Their sacrifice is the reason you can sit here and do this. They've sacrificed many things. They've sacrificed vacations. They've sacrificed this. They've sacrificed that. To make sure that you can have the best of the best. And to you parents, I say thank you. And I think you guys owe them a round of applause. And with that, I'm going to close this with a word of prayer, and we will exit tonight with Thank you again for being here. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we're just so humbled tonight by the Spirit in this room. Lord, I thank you so much for these young people, and I pray, God, that if there's one here tonight that does not know you as their personal Lord and Savior, Lord, that they would seek you. They would seek you out. Lord, I thank you for these two men that we honor tonight for their service here at our school. We thank you for all they've done for Bowling Green to help make it great. And Lord, we pray that we can continue to do that as we move forward. Lord, I just thank you and I love you. And I pray that you can forgive us of where we fall short. In your Son's name I pray. Amen. Amen. Briefly, real quick, and my apologies, Jared, I meant to do this a minute ago, got it wrong. Mr. Jared Edwards and Miss Hayden Edwards, we welcome you to the family. Looking forward to it, everybody. No pressure or anything. We ain't got thrown on you, but we're glad to have you. Y'all have a good evening.
Hey, Will.
Somebody has it. Somebody said that they were leaving.